biology, the major dilemma that I've seen in students and in parents as well, जो आप लोगों ने घर जाके भी बात करनी है obviously, is medicine, MBBS. Medical के लिए A levels नहीं करना चाहिए, medical के लिए we need to go into FSC, right? ये major, this is a dilemma that is set from, I think from the last 2 decades or so. I did my O levels and A levels in 2008 from Beacon House, and that हमारे ज़हन में भी exactly यही point था कि अगर medicine में जाना है तो why do we need to do A levels? लेकिन let me tell you something, and this is from experience what I'm telling you, seeing students and seeing my fellow colleagues as well who are now into medicine. You need to remember it is very, very, very difficult to cope up with FSC after you're doing O levels. तो पहले तो ये बात clear रखो for those of you who are in O levels right now. Now, the reason that I say that is the course of mechanism that you go through in O levels is very different from the course of mechanism that you're going to follow in FSC. That's very obvious. हमारे students after doing A levels as well, this current batch as well, they're preparing for their MD-CAT assessments. MD-CAT होता है once you need to go into a medical college. तो medical college में जाने के लिए you need to give up or prepare for a proper university test. एक प्रोफेशनल कॉलेज है, उसके लिए एक प्रॉपर टेस्टिंग है, एंड समवेयर बैक ऑफ द माइंड हमारे सोसाइटी में, एंड इट्स इंटीग्रेटेड इनटू आवरसेल्व्स दैट यार ये तो सारा एफएससी का कोर्स है, दिस इज समथिंग दैट इज डायरेक्टली रेलेवेंट टू एफएससी. प्लीज लेट मी टेल यू इट्स नॉट द केस. I've started teaching MD-CAT from the last 3 years, and I've seen this that there is a lot of resemblance with O levels, A levels. हाँ, कुछ चीज़ें different होती हैं. That's very, very simple. ये तो हर जगह पे होगा. When you change into a different paper pattern, तो paper का pattern different है, paper के schematics different हैं, तो उसकी तैयारी है. तो please get this thing very straight कि it is not necessary for you to jump from O levels into FSC just to get into medicine. They got another very important confusion or misunderstanding that I would say is, सर इक्विलेंस में तो देर आर अ लॉट ऑफ डिडक्शंस. ओ लेवल्स में बहुत डिडक्शंस होती हैं, ए लेवल्स में होती थी. बैक इन द डे व्हेन वी वर इन ए लेवल्स थी, देयर वर 10 to 15% डिडक्शंस, बट मोर और लेस ओवर द टाइम दे हैव डिक्रीज्ड टू अ वेरी मिनिमल वैल्यू. तो प्लीज रिमेंबर दिस व्हेन यू आर ऑप्टिंग फॉर अ सब्जेक्ट एंड यू वांट टू गेट इनटू मेडिसिन, और आपके ज़हन में ये होगा कि यार मेडिसिन करना है, तो लेट्स गो फॉर एफएससी इंस्टेड. नंबर 1, A levels is a better choice any day, anytime. The reason for that is, आप देखो, you need to understand post-COVID, the world isn't thinking about medicine anymore. Please remember that. The world is thinking about bioinformatics. So Fahim just explained you the importance of computer, I believe, abhi thodi der pehle. I 110% agree, although these are 2 different compartments I'm talking about. देखो, the combination of biology and computer, genetics and computer, please remember students, this is the future. You need to remember this. A student who gets into science, a student who wants to get into medicine, you need to follow genetics and IT. You need to follow genetics and software. That is the only solution. World is changing very quick. कोविड से पहले दुनिया का टोटल डिलेमा वाज डिफरेंट. दे वर वर्किंग ऑन इकोनॉमीज बेस्ड ऑन डिफरेंट बिजनेसेस. बिल्कुल ठीक है, विच इज करेंटली गोइंग ऑन एज वेल. बट प्लीज रिमेंबर द फैक्ट दैट पोस्ट कोविड इंटायर मैकेनिज्म चेंज हो गया. द वर्ल्ड केम टू सी दैट जस्ट हाउ अ टाइनी लिटिल नैनोमीटर्स में, ना, दोज ऑफ यू आर इन साइंसेस, व्हाट इज नैनो? 10⁻⁻⁹ राइट? तो nanometers में if something can cause such mass global destruction, so just imagine dealing with that. So I would just like to close my entire speech up with just one last 2 or 3 sentences. Please remember, during the COVID era, how many virologists did you see? Anyone? None. The reason is, whether you see TV, और ये मैं पाकिस्तान की बात नहीं कर रहा हूँ, I'm talking about the entire globe. Please remember, every TV interview, COVID को डिस्कस करने के लिए they had called what? Doctors. Doctors की डोमेन नहीं है viruses. Please remember that. You need to be a microbiologist, you need to be a virologist, you need to go through biotechnology, you need to go through genetic engineering in order to deal with this. And please also do remember, I believe you guys know Bill Gates, right? So Bill Gates, and there are many other foundations in the world. Bill Gates की एक बड़ी famous foundation है which is working on all of this as well. There are many pharmaceutical companies that have came up with a proper belief system that this is the first of many. So just imagine that. आपको अपने ही lifetime में you will be dealing with a lot more and maybe a lot worse. So we need to prepare for that, and for that, bioinformatics is something that I would want you guys to Google on. Thank you.